The views expressed on the podcast are those of the individuals who made them, and they do not represent the views or beliefs of Job Duck.
Hello to all of our listeners out there. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Pumped Up Quacks. My name is Wusi, coming to you from sunny South Africa. And yes, my people, make yourselves known. There's other people here. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
We're happy to be back. And to have you, Morne. We haven't had you in a while.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. In this episode, love will be in the air. So, yeah, it's quite exciting.
Is it? Oh, that's great. So, yeah, my name is Andy. You already know me. I'm from Mexico City. Glad to be back.
And I'm Miguel from Colombia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mornay, and I'm from South Africa.
Great stuff, Mornay. Yes, guys, these are the usual suspects in their entirety. Very nice to have this little reunion. So, Mornay, I know you haven't recorded with us in a while, but I'm sure you know what's coming up next, and that is the old riddle. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, here's this week's riddle, Valentine's edition. What is an alternative word for joy that starts with H, but for me, it starts with U?
Ooh.
Sounds romantic. Okay.
All right, guys, give it some thought. We will revisit this at the end of the episode. I'll also remind you of the riddle along the way. But before we get into it, let's get cracking into this week's quacky news. Right, a young Rhode Island girl has finally figured out how to determine if Santa is real, and that's with a DNA test. The Cumberland resident sent a partially eaten cookie as well as a couple of gnawed-on carrot sticks to the town's police department to ask if they can be tested for DNA. The girl wrote, "I took a sample of a cookie and carrots that I left for Santa and the reindeer on Christmas Eve, and I was wondering if you could take a sample of DNA and see if Santa's real." Her name and age were not disclosed. This was forwarded
18.
to the state's Department of Health
52.
Forensic Sciences Unit for analysis. Items to be examined for traces of DNA and compared with the profiles on record for the above named suspect or aliases, which is what the department form says. The charge? Failure to finish snacks. The results are still pending. To this day, they are still pending, guys. So yeah, if you're going to play Santa, or Santa if you're out there, please make sure you finish the cookies.
Yeah. And Santa is your dog.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a rabbit.
Okay, so I was going to say that one, but now I'll have another one. I had a backup. Police.
The plan.
29-year-old posts as teen to enroll in high school. A 29-year-old woman used false documents to enroll as a New Jersey high school student and attended some classes over a 4-day period before his scheme was discovered last week, authorities said. It's not yet known what the woman's intentions were, officials said. She reportedly got the phone numbers of the students who helped her find her way through New Brunswick High School and continued to text some of them after her ruse was discovered. So, pretty creepy. Yeah.
A U.S. high school has not been able to turn off its lights for a year and a half because of a computer glitch. The 7,000 lights at the Minnesota Regional High School in Massachusetts have been blazing day and night, with teachers forced to remove bulbs to try to reduce the mounting electricity bill. The first world nightmare caught the attention of the satirical Saturday Night Live television show, which joked, "The students are doing fine, but the classroom hamster has gone insane."
Oh my god.
My goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they need to send that computer glitch to South Africa, because we actually have a problem of no lights.
No.
We would love that. We would love that glitch over here, please. It's so welcome. There's only so many candles a girl can buy.
Everything is taking a technological turn today. Following the same leak, fast food giant McDonald's also decided to experiment with the idea last year. The restaurant chain opened its first automated restaurant in Texas, United States.
Yeah.
As seen in several videos posted on social media, the robotic restaurant is entirely automated and requires no human interaction to place or take orders. The entire process from choosing your order to packing it is automated. An internet user recently documented his experience at this high-tech eatery, and his video has amazed many people on social media. The restaurant lacks any seating or setups for eating inside, as it is intended to be a grab-and-go eatery. He then places his order through a kiosk and a robot delivers the same. Later, he places another online order through a mobile application and it is delivered at the drive-thru. I think this is absolutely insane, guys.
Oh, that is bad. Bad.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting. The first one, it's interesting. If this is going to become a thing, then it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Millions
yeah.
of people are going to sit without a job.
But do you know where to find a
human
job?
touch on my
Do
burger.
you know? Do you know?
Do you know?
Get them with it.
www.jobdoc.com. Apply now.
that's-
Hell
sure.
yes. Yes. Okay. Well, that's what's been going on in the world lately. But now we're going to delve into this week's topic, guys. Do you hear that? It's the season.
It's in the air.
It's the season of love, guys. So it's only fitting that we talk about love. We love in different ways. We love in different capacities. We are loving, the people we love. We're in couples. We're with our families. We have love for our friends. We have love for our pets. We have love for this world. I just wanted to know, like, what is your favorite kind of love? And keep it PG-13. It's a family show.
So thank you for asking this, because it's the perfect topic for me. Whoa. Now that I'm and always been single, so I have a deep care for my family and friends. So I think my love for them is like giving them hugs and giving them gifts. That's what I like the most. That's how I show love to my loved ones.
It's great. You still have love to give, even though you haven't found a suitable partner. So you are expressing that love to the people who you care the most, and that's pretty noble from you.
You know, it's
definitely.
I think it happens with everyone, because I don't know. I love my friends a lot, and I love my family. And for me, having this connection, like, I cannot imagine myself not spending time with my friends or family. And also that, having time with them, like spending time with all of them.
That's always the best thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that was an amazing question you asked, Boosie. I think when it comes to me, the most important love that I enjoy is self-love. And the reason therefore is, I mean, you have to love yourself first, right? I mean, if you don't love yourself, if you don't have respect for yourself, that means that you won't have inner happiness. There are a lot of people in the world that would say, you know, for instance, money buys happiness. And in some sense, I do agree with that. I mean, for instance, if I had a Ferrari and, you know, I had the house on the beach and all of that, of course, I'm going to be happy in some sense. But it's also materialistic things. So you need to find inner happiness within yourself, even if you have nothing. The only explanation there is to finding happiness, inner happiness, is through self-love. Because that means that you will respect yourself and you will also know how to build relationships with other people as well. And I
You
think
can't
that's super
love
important.
others if you don't love yourself.
I
have
to disagree with that statement.
Oh,
I
grab
love
your
you.
popcorn, guys. Why so? I'm
Because
interested.
it's not necessarily that way. For someone to love someone, you need to love yourself first. That's what people tend to say, because it's important to have self-love and self-esteem and all of that. And
Yes.
that's completely true.
There's like
You
a
need to
growth
have-
mindset and stuff. It's very
Yeah.
mature, but
But it's not the way it works.
okay.
And there's a saying in a song, I don't remember the name, that said, "I love you so much, you made me forget how much I hate myself." So it's obviously super, super difficult. That statement is super hard, and it shouldn't be like that. Obviously, I want to make that clear, but it shows that you can love someone without necessarily loving yourself, and that is a thing that happens a lot in many
leads to
communities
dependency and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know, like
That
you cannot love yourself.
codependency.
Well,
And
codependency if the other person is also into that, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it happens that you cannot love yourself, you don't find joy in this life, and then that person becomes your joy. And if something happens with the relationship because you're not mentally stable, if something happened because you mess things up, then you're gonna screw things up, and you know it's gonna come back.
I agree, but
It happens.
what I wanted to say is that not necessarily you cannot love others because you cannot love yourself, and that is hard because sometimes finding love in others their love can make you understand their love for yourself. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you have to love yourself to understand the love of others. You have to there's different ways of having love, and I don't believe that you need to love yourself to love others. You need to understand that love is different, and maybe the love that others gave you would make you understand the love that you have for yourself.
Well, that is an interesting take. It's also some of it does make sense, although I am of the belief that without any sort of self-love or self-respect, you might actually become a doorknob for other kinds of nonsense. If you continue to want to find love in other people all the time, of which there's nothing wrong with that, right? But
love is not moral.
in as much as someone can show you things about yourself which will make you sort of make maybe better changes, or you start to love other people better, there still is a need for you to also look after the one.
Yeah.
Yes,
because in that kind of situation that you've described, Miguel, as Andy said, what happens if that person who you have that connection with is suddenly gone?
No.
How are you going to recover from that?
No, I totally agree with that. So obviously the statement I said before, the one of saying, you made me forget about how much I hate myself, that it's completely deranged, and someone who is having a hard time by themselves and has a dependency of somebody else.
Exactly.
But in some cases, and I've seen it a lot of times, it doesn't necessarily, and we're talking about still romantic love, right? But I was talking not only about this romantic love, you could find that love in friends, right?
Yeah.
And those friends will teach you how to love yourself without I don't know, like, friends are going to be there forever.
Yeah.
And they're not, that dependency is not going to be the same as in a partner if someone teaches you how to love yourself and that partner 100%. Then is gone. So I was saying, you can love your family, you can love your friends without loving yourself first. It's not like that statement can be really harmful, like saying, hey, I can't love you because I can't love myself. Like, I cannot love my family. But you need to understand, and yes, I agree, you need to have self-respect, and you can earn that while you have love for others. And it can be, it's not like the ideal, obviously. Yeah. But I'm just saying you can do that. It's not prohibited to love someone without loving yourself. I just wanted to say that the statement is
totally. But I don't know if this goes to the chase, if this is part of that conversation, but I find it interesting how when you love somebody, or when you share the love and you buy things or do these kinds of love languages to your friends, your family, your partner, you're still doing it for yourself somehow.
Would those
to a certain degree, like
truly altruistic though?
It's not that to a certain degree, because you make people happy, or you provide these kinds of things to people because it make you feel fine. You know, that kind of stuff makes you feel fine. Altruism is good. I'm not saying that it's not good, it's not moral or anything, but at the end, a lot of people do it because they feel like they have to do it, they have to give to the world, and also it makes them feel fine.
Yeah.
So to a certain degree, I'm not saying that that's the only thing that happens in this equation. Like, there's a lot of things, and you can generally care about a person or their happiness or everything, but there's some self-love in there as well. You want to feel fine, you want to feel, I don't know, loved back or whatever, or happy that this person is happy, so it goes directly to you somehow, but it's not the most important thing.
I would say that's like a little bit, excuse me for using this word, but it's a little bit cheap way of saying that it's a self-love, right? Because everybody kind of does something with the expecting that somebody is going to give them something, and that happens a lot. Although you can have the best intentions and all of that, I do think that sometimes those intentions are truly honorable and honest. So I do think that if you love someone and that makes you happy, right, you shouldn't think of a self-love like, just because you're making someone happy, you're thinking of yourself happy, right? Like, you loving yourself. It's more difficult than just saying that, because there's a lot going on, especially with psychological issues, different things. So I wouldn't say that statement also, but I understand your point, and I do believe that most of the time there's expectations between different exchange of affection.
I think the self-love thing is really more constituted in romantic relationships, because I think that is where it's actually the most important to remember to care for yourself within that situation. Whereas Miguel does have a point when he says that you learn a lot about love in different ways when it comes to your relationships with other people, especially when you're growing up, because your first encounter with love should come from your parents, should come from your family, and then it should grow from there. But I think what we are trying to say is, yes, self-love is something that's developed, it's taught, it's nurtured, and it's grown, and it's watered as you come up. If you've got people that love you who are surrounding you, you will learn from that. But then I think in the romantic aspect, I personally fully believe that it's impossible for you to survive the challenges that come with a romantic relationship if you don't have any sort of self-love or self-respect.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Yeah.
Even though you can nourish yourself with the relationships that you have, that's not enough to build self-love. It contributes somehow, but it also contributes to an exercise, eating well, going to the doctor and that kind of stuff, because you value your own life. So it's not enough to say that your couple gives you the energy to go forward and then to be a fulfilled person and everything else.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that, and it's interesting for me to see your perspectives and to also jump in the conversation and have all of this. So thank you very much, guys. For me, that's I think that was my closing statement.
Yeah, no, guys, I couldn't agree more with you. At the end of the day, love should just always stay alive. I think that's super important. There's a quote by Avicii, it's actually in a song. Life is a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. Thank you for the music, Boosie.
It is in the air. As everybody has said, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. I forgot the rest, but I think you get the point. Love is a beautiful thing, guys. And hey, speaking of love, what is an alternative word for joy that starts with H, but for me it starts with U?
If you speak English and you don't have a job, go to jobdoc.com and try it out. JobDoc.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful message. But guys, firstly, before we continue with this conversation, Another thing about love is that it can transcend anything. It can even reach into your professional background as well. You might find yourself doing something you love. You might study something you love. You might get a job doing something you love. So, question I have for you guys. In your current roles right now, are there things about your job that you actually really love? And if so, what are they?
Yes. I have 3 things that are the most loved things by Miguel. And one is I love to write. So when I write copies, I have like a little thing of myself and me in the copy. That is cool. Second one is using OBS. I don't know how to explain it, but I love it. I love using OBS. It's just fun. I don't know. You feel like a producer when I ever have to host.
Yeah, like camera 1, camera 2, then music goes in and get video and stuff. You like presenting the Academy Awards or something.
Yeah, I feel like that. It's so, the feeling, it's like the adrenaline you feel like you can mess that up at any given point. It's so cool, but I haven't messed anything up yet.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Just skip that yet.
But
You haven't, and you never will, because you're a great guy on OBS.
Thank you. Me talking to my host and telling them, hey guys, 5 seconds. Oh, best feeling in the world. I don't know how to explain it. And the other one is talking. And I love to talk. So that's why the podcast is one of the things that I love the most.
Oh, that's great. You're good at talking, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so the things I love about my job is actually closely related to what Miguel just mentioned. I also love writing as well. I think it takes me to a different place, to a different world. So I write the Job Talk blogs. I'm just finding this inner peace whenever I write something. I'm maybe listening to some music in the background, playing it softly, just chilling out, writing something. And then secondly, the live sessions. As Miguel mentioned, he gets this sort of adrenaline as soon as he starts working on OBS and stuff. I also feel it. When Miguel does the countdown, 10, 9, 8, it's almost like Formula 1 Boosie before the race starts. Red lights before it goes. I'm also feeling that. But yeah, also, with the live sessions, I do enjoy assisting the audience as well. So I really enjoy that as well. And then the third thing is definitely editing. I'm editing the Pumped Up Quacks podcast audio file, and I do enjoy that a lot. Yeah, when I first started working with Job Talk, I wasn't expecting to edit the podcast, but it was my suggestion. And yeah, I just fell in love with it. I love trying out new things. I love editing the file, trying to make it sound smooth. I don't know, but yeah, it's just super enjoyable. In general, I just love my job. We are working from home, guys. No commuting. Come on. It's amazing. I agree.
Mm-hmm. We love listening to you talk. We love your writing, Mornay. It's amazing. Guys, if you don't know Mornay, something else that he loves is poetry as well. He writes some pretty good bars. Andy, what do you love about your job?
Well, we're sticking to the 3 things formula, I guess, because both of you said the 3 things. So let's say 3 things as well. Well, I love doing graphics. Everything that you see in social media is done by the content team, and it's really nice to work on graphics and also assist my fellow graphic designers on doing these kinds of things, which I love. It's really, really enjoyable. And second thing would be to be for my team. I love talking to my team. I love having conversations with them at the end of the periods that we determine for goals. So having those conversations, intimate conversations, talking about their life, talking about how they have been performing, if they enjoy what they do, and getting all that feedback, positive, negative, is always nice, because we're striving to make the best department as possible, the marketing department. So that's really nice. I really like that. And I guess the third thing will be to have these side activities that are not on my primary job, which are the podcast mainly. The podcast is fantastic. I get to vent. I get to talk about the things I love, especially entertainment. In this case, love, for instance, that I think is really interesting. being in other projects such as like the TikTok meetings that we have, and some of the content meetings are really nice, and cooperating with other departments is really nice as well, and get to know other people within the organization. So yeah, I really enjoy what I do, and I'm happy that JobDoc can give me those scenarios for me to develop in the things that I love, which is also cool. And as Morna said, we don't commute. Come on, guys.
That's right. That's one of the things that I love as well, guys.
What about you, Boosie? What are the things that you like?
What about the things that I love about my job? I think number one, it's all of the things that I don't get to do because I'm working remotely. So I don't commute. I'm not doing transport budgets. There's a lot of money that I'm saving just by having this job and just staying put. Another thing, it's getting to know all of you, because I had never really met or interacted with people from Latin America before I got this job. And I have learned so much, and I continue to learn. And also just being challenged by various big projects that might come now and again. It might seem frantic, but honestly, I live for the pressure and I love it. So yeah, those are a couple of things that I love about my job. And that brings us almost to the end of our episode, guys. What we need to do is discuss that riddle now. Yes? Are we ready?
Yes, I love it.
Okay. Okay, for the last time. What is an alternative word for joy that starts with H, but for me it starts with you?
You.
Oh, I don't start with H though. Any other guesses?
Happiness.
Happiness. Yes, the answer is happiness. My happiness starts with all of you. But I'm also happy on my own. Just wanted to put it out there. I got that self-love. Okay, to all our listeners out there, if you have any thoughts on what we have discussed on today's episode, we welcome your interactions with us in the comment sections. We would love to know what your take on love is, what it is that you love about work, and anything else that you might think about that all-important, all wonderful, warm, fuzzy thing that we call love. Okay, so if you're thinking that you would love to get a lovely home-based position, if you would love to maybe get an opportunity to grow your career, if you would love to have just a different experience, hey, you can apply for one of our positions. If you want more information, please visit our website at www.jobduck.com. You can also find us on social media. On Instagram, we are The Job Duck. On TikTok, we are at The Job Duck. On LinkedIn, we are The Job Duck, and we are the same on Facebook as well. On Twitter, we are at _Job Duck. And also, lastly, if you have the interest, you can find us on Pinterest. Love you guys. Love you.
Love you.
Mwah. Have an amazing Valentine's Day to everybody out there.
Yeah. Have
Love
an
you
amazing
guys.
one.